Hello.
Oh, yes, spill the tea, Lula.
I plan to open up...
You make this K-pop.
No, this is Secret Lair.
What?
Yes, I'm going to open up these Furby secret lairs.
Oh, yes, spill the tea, Lula.
I hope so. Let's see what we get here.
That's what Furby was going to say.
All right. First up is the...
Furby had a good ear. Why Furby no wear shoes, huh?
All right. First up, we have Distant Melody. Bring this up here. The confetti foil looks pretty awesome.
19 out of 10 right now.
Distant Melody. Explore. Look at that. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like a bald spot right there, which is unfortunate. But it's not that big of an issue.
Want to see Furby later? Furby loves Say, Late Show.
Inspiring call. Confetti here just pops. Looks really awesome.
Furby has boogers.
Chromatic lantern. Very nice. Looks like Lisa Frank type art. And soldering.
No wear shoes, huh?
And then command tower for the bonus card. Look at that.
Furby! That's what Furby was going to say.
That is the first more modern Furby take.
So sleepy. Furby feel like 14 out of 10 right now.
Up next, Furby the Gathering. This one's interesting that this one is callback to the 90s style of Furby. Which I don't have any of those, but we'll see how this looks here with the confetti foil.
Does Furby have boogers?
I may have mentioned before, but this is why I wish more Secret Lairs would be like actually seeing the different IPs cross over with Magic the Gathering characters in the art, like here in Sphere of Safety. Although I have to say, the confetti foiling doesn't appear as impressive on this one as it did in the last Super Drop. We'll see if it's just a outlet with this one. And this one definitely looks a lot better. Look at that. They picked a good art to showcase that confetti foiling on there. It's beautiful. Phyrexian Arena. Another one where you really see the confetti just going nuts on this card. Tormenting Voice.
Furby, neither fur nor bee. Interesting.
Tameo's Safekeeping. That looks nice. Again, the confetti is more subdued in the darker areas, but definitely pops with all the whites on the little Furbies. Arcane Signa, that's a statement right there. I like the spiked ball, just shows a little hint of menace. Oh, I think the Furbies got tuckered out. Good thing too, because things are about to get unnerving with the odd bodies here. Best friends forever, forever. I guess I could read the previous one. It says, in the sea of worlds invaded by a relentless tide of love. And then the caption on the first one was, Unai Lule Du, which is Furbish. So the last one here, That's the one I wanted. Hullbreaker Horror. One of the few creatures I play in my Kaikar Zephyr Awakener deck, and I use Polymorph to search for it and bring it out, so then every time I cast my cantrips and my little spells, I gotta say, again, the confetti foiling on this one is more subdued. I don't know if it's just because of the darker colors or what, but it's a little harder to make it out. I mean, it is there, but it's not as impactful as the first one. So we'll just see. Let's see on this one, like, yeah, if there's any light colors, the confetti is just going to really pop. I think this one was just a poor choice on the color. You can only really see on, like, the hair on there, or the underbelly a little bit. Maddening Cacophony. Serum Vision. Now this one is, I think this is the best one yet so far. Look at that. Holy cow. That is trippy. Look at that. Wow, that is, I have to say, that is very impressive to look at. I don't even know if the camera does it justice, but that's just very cool. Serum Vision, I think this is the best one so far. This one's good. I'm glad this one turned out, because I think this is going to be the face card for many a commander deck. And again, I love the fact that this is not a reskin. This is Umbris Fear Manifest, so they didn't have to rename it as Long Furby or anything. This is just Umbris. I think that's awesome. Spellskite. Ooh, this is another one. This Spellskite and Serum Visions are probably two of the best ones. With the, that's just gorgeous to look at. Holy cow! Yeah, that's very nice. Boy, between the two of these, I still think I have to give it to Serum Visions. I think something about the multi eyes just makes it look that much creepier. That's pretty cool looking. And then the bonus card was Read the Bones. Well, this one is a little bare bones as far as the confetti foiling goes. You can barely tell except on the skeleton just a little bit. So yeah, the confetti, some were better than others, but on these two, definitely popped. I thought I'd go ahead and rank all of these Furby cards based on how well I think the confetti foil was pulled off. I think this one, start at the bottom, the bonus card, you just see a little bit of sparkle on the body and not much anywhere else on the card. So this one probably gets the lowest grade as far as the confetti foiling goes. Put this like in the C tier. All these are kind of in C tier here. The Hullbreaker Horror, same thing. I really wanted this one to pop, but it's just not quite there. You get a little bit of sparkle in a few areas, but it's pretty subdued, especially compared to some of the higher tier ones. So this is a big disappointment, I think. So they get another C tier. Same thing here. You got some on the armor and on the Furbies themselves, but it's not very well implemented, which is kind of surprising considering this is a white card and there's lots of bright colors, which typically helps with these confetti foils to pop, but not really here. And this one's probably the highest of the what I would consider the C tier or the lower tier ones. I just like the composition of Tameo, and the Furbies do sparkle. And you have a little bit of glitter on the cherry blossoms and everything, but overall, yeah, not a whole lot of sparkle going on here. So this one also gets a C tier ranking. And these I consider to be the B tier cards. I mean, this one definitely has plenty of sparkle going on the Furby, but you just don't really see anything on the goblins or the rocks, and so this B tier. Oh boy, this one I honestly thought was going to be A tier, but the more I was looking, I was like, it's not quite there, just because there's some that are really sparkly, but this is probably one of the higher B tiers, because that shield is pretty cool to look at. Then Maddening Cacophony, same thing here. You have this really nice sparkle effect, but it's just in one particular area, and then it's barely noticeable on the rest of the card. So you get another B tier. And the Phyrexian Arena, again, a similar thing. You've got a concentrated blast of the sparkles, but it's also kind of hard to make out the Furby's face a little bit. It's almost too sparkly there. So again, B tier. So those ones, not that they aren't sparkly, although some are more so than others, but just kind of how it was implemented. But here we get on to A tier. So again, this one, nice sparkles. You can really see the Furby and the face and everything. The details aren't lost. There's just not a lot of sparkles in the background, which does create a nice contrast. So you'll give it an A tier. And Soul Ring, similar thing. A lot on the Furby, but there's really not much you can tell on the flowers. So, and even not even on like the ring around Furby. It's just like just the Furby itself, and then the little ground on which he's standing, which admittedly that is a cool effect, but like you can barely see the sparkle on the Soul Ring. So yeah, I'd say it's A tier, but it's not what I consider S tier quality. Now, this one's nice. I like all of the sparkles on the leaves and everything on the Furby. Looks very nice. But just not anything on the trees. You got some on the flowers here. So, yeah, I give it an A. It's a lot scattered all over the place. And Chromatic Lantern, this one also has a nice effects all throughout. But again, you just see things on like the trees and the background. There's like a big distinction between what's got the confetti foil and what doesn't. I mean, it is a nice little sparkly effect, but there's just areas that just feel bare, you know? So, yeah, give that. I do. You can see it in the background. You can see it in the sky and everything. So it is there, but it doesn't pop as much as some of the other ones. Still, give it an A tier. And this one I had to give an A tier. It is more subdued than any of the other ones, but I'm just more impressed with how it turned out, considering the dark colors in the picture, that they were able to get so much sparkle. I'm thinking, if they could do this here, why couldn't they do this with Hullbreaker Horror? Because you can just see these sparkles a lot better in this. So I would say this is probably a lower A tier, just because of what the sparkles are having to deal with in order to shine up at all, show up at all, just because of how dark everything is. But yeah, it's another A. And then these last five, I consider these to be the best ones. If you're buying Furry Confetti, these are the ones you're buying it for. Arcane Signet, again, I just love the expression, the art on this. It has the little confetti foiling all over the place, but you can still look and make out all the details on the tiara and the throne and the background and everything. And so yeah, there's just, you can just see the sparkles everywhere compared to some other cards where it just feels blank. So excellent job on that. And then Inspiring Call, this is another one. We've got all the Furbies, and again, there's some blank spots, but it doesn't feel like it's as much. There's more going on. And so I'd give this one a pass as another S tier foiling job. And then Command Tower just looks nice. You got the Furby in the background, also very sparkly. And I guess, is that supposed to be like a tail? Is he like, well, there's a long Furby coiling around something? It's kind of hard to tell from the art. But yeah, they've got sparkles even on the little golden ribbon there. Yeah, pretty nice. Another S tier. And then we're getting down to like the last two. The Spell Skite, which of course I was talking about before. You can just look at those eyes and how they operate. Look at that. That is just awesome looking. So yeah, Spell Skite, another S tier. And then the cream of the crop, those Serum Visions. This one is just so much sparkle. I just love it how when the light hits it just right, you can see it goes over the face and everything. So yeah, this one to me is definitely the pick of the pack. So yeah, that's how I would rank the different Furbies in terms of sparklers. You got your S tier, A tier, B tier, and C tier. But thank you so much for listening. It was a lot of fun to open. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll be back with more videos. We got more box openings coming, more commander cards to discuss, other deck techs on the way. So thank you very much. Take care. Bye.